From this video onwards to the 4 videos from here, we're talking about determinants. And we've seen snippets about this determinant here and there in previous videos about linear algebra. But here, we want to see some clearer ideas about determinants. So this video is about geometric meaning of determinants. I think that's really helpful to know that you just know. So, I mean, most people know how to take determinant, but probably they just don't know what exactly the implication of that is in terms of geometry. So, geometric meaning of determinants. This lesson explains the geometric meaning of determinants in terms of area and volume, orientation, scaling factor, and we have worked examples alongside. So let's go straight to talk about the first part of this. Talking about determinants and area. Of course, area is two-dimensional for the most part. So consider a 2 by 2 matrix. A equals A, B, C, D. Of course, its determinant is that A, which is A times D minus B times C. That's AD minus BC. So let the column vectors be VI, that's AC, the first column, BD, the second vector, right? So V1, AC, V1 is the vector AC, V2 is the vector BD. So these vectors form a parallelogram, all right? These vectors form a parallelogram. The area of this parallelogram, it can be seen as the determinant of A. So the absolute value of the determinant of A tells us that it gives us the area of the parallelogram formed by these two columns. So you see the absolute value of the determinant gives the area of a parallelogram formed by the two vectors represented by formed by the 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 determinant gives the area of a parallelogram formed by the two vectors like that. Yeah. So look at this example right here. So area in 2 dimensions, like I've said, let A be 3, 1, 2, 4. So we know that 3, 2 is one of the vectors and 1, 4 is another vector. The two of them combine together to form a parallelogram. And then if you compute the determinant of A is 3 times 4 minus 2, 1 times 2. That gives us 12 minus 2, which is 10. Therefore, the area is 10. So the unit square is transformed. So we see the unit square is transformed into a parallelogram of area 10. That's what the matrix is doing. And this is what this looks like in terms of geometry, right? So example in area 2D. So you see this unit square now is transformed into a parallelogram with area 10 like that. So that's the proper geometry of determinant for a 2 by 2 matrix. Now, when we come to for a 3 by 3 matrix, imagine that we have so we talk about determinants and volume, which is three-dimensional now. So if you consider a 3 by 3 matrix A, with each column, so the first column is vector V1, the second column is vector V2, the third column is vector V3. So the 3 column vectors form a parallel pipes in space. So the volume of that parallel pipe is actually the determinant of that matrix. So the volume now is the absolute value of the determinant. So this is also called the scalar triple product. So that is the scalar triple product. So imagine what that looks like. So a volume in 3D now, you have this A is, so these are the 3 vectors forming the parallel pipe. So you have 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1. So to compute the determinant, so of course, I think I've explained that previously. So as attached to each of these ones is, because this one is in row 1, column 1. So you have -1 raised to power 1 plus 1. So for the ones where the number of row and number of column is even, it will end up being positive. So -1 raised by 1 plus 1, that's -1 raised by 2, that's positive. Then this is row 1, column 2. So that is -1 raised by 2 plus 1, which is 3. So -1 raised by 3 is negative. So plus is attached to this, minus is attached to this. And this one, row 1, column 3, that's 1 plus 3, 4. So -1 raised by 4 is even rather, and then that will be positive also. So positive, negative, positive. So what do we now do? So plus 1, positive of 1 comes here, and then you cross out the column and the row. And what do you have left? You have this 2 by 2 matrix, 1, 1, 0, 1, like this here. Then for 2 now, negative is attached to it. So you have -2, then cross the column, cross the row. So you have 0, 1, 1, 1, like what we have here. And thankfully, anytime you see zero like this, it's good news because whatever comes after it, it's going to, zero is going to multiply it and you get zero. So you don't even care what comes. So you can just write zero there. But if you want to still care, so you have zero into cross the column, cross zero. So you have 0 and 1, 0. So you have 0 and 1, 0 right here. But that'll be zero. So at the end of the day, you now have the determinant of this now. So you have 1 into 1 minus 1 times 1, 1 minus 0 times 1, 0, minus 2 into 0 times 1. 0 times 1 is 0, minus 1 times 1, 1. So you have 1 into 1 minus 0 is 1, 2 minus 2 into minus 1, that's plus 2. So that's 3. So how do you interpret that? So the volume of the parallelopipe formed by these three vectors has is actually 3. And then we can see the geometry this way. So imagine that you have look at this now. So you have this 3. So you have 1 0 1 2 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 1. So this should be 210, and then it forms a parallelopipe like this. So the volume is 3. All right. So let's talk about determinants and orientation. So determinants also have something to do with orientation, as we see here. The sign of the determinant tells us whether a transformation flips space. Okay. So a flipping can take place depending on whatever the sign is. So for positive determinants, if the determinant of A is greater than 0, then orientation is preserved. So the orientation is maintained, no mirror reflection, and counterclockwise stays counterclockwise. Then right-handed stays right-handed because nothing changes. However, if the determinant is negative, that is, if determinant of A is less than 0, then orientation is reversed, reflection occurs, space is flipped, and a mirror image is produced. And we see that in this kind of situation, where you see this, that you have you have matrix A, which is 2003. The determinant is 2 times 3 6 minus 0, that's 6, which is positive. So in this case, this preserves orientation. On the other hand, you have B equals minus 1 0 0 1. The determinant is minus 1 times 1, that's minus 1 minus 0, that's minus 1. So this represents a reflection across the y-axis. So this is what this looks like in terms of geometry. Look at the two vectors. So in this case now, because this is positive, so this will be extended, but the direction is maintained. So orientation is preserved. But coming here where the determinant is negative, this reflects a reflection across the y-axis. So you have y here. So this reflects across the y-axis like that. So the orientation is reversed, and that's a reflection right there. So we also have determinants playing into scaling factors. Okay, so every matrix represents a linear transformation. So determinants measure how much area or volume is scaled. So you can start with this. Unit square, area is equal to 1. Unit cube, the volume is 1. So after transformation by A, the new size will now be the absolute value of the determinant of A. So scaling factor will now be, so the scaling factor is actually the determinant. The absolute value of the determinant gives you the scaling factor. So how do you interpret all that? So uh, what if you get 1, if the determinant is 1, no size change, there'll be no size change. If it is greater than 1, there's expansion. Less than 1, there's compression. If the determinant is 0, that's collapse. Okay. And then less than 0, you flip, there'll be a flip and scale. So the absolute value gives the sign change, then the sign gives the orientation itself, like that. So let's look at the idea of zero determinant. If the determinant A is equal to 0, then area or volume becomes 0. So this means that a plane collapses to a line. So determinant of 0 tells us that a plane collapses into a line, and a 3D object collapses into a plane and information is lost. So the reason for that is that probably one of the columns or rows in the matrix is a multiple of the other one or something like that. So in that case, some information will be lost. So the matrix is called singular and is not invertible. So a matrix with determinant 0 is said to be singular and it is not invertible. That means it has no inverse, and the implication of that is that the matrix, if you solve the system, you are not going to get a unique solution. It's either the solution doesn't exist or the solution is infinite. You have infinitely many solutions. So think about scaling here. So you have example one. Scaling can be either expansion or compression. So if you have A is 300, the determinant, of course, we know is 3 times 2, 6 minus 0. That's 6. So area becomes 6 times larger. On this other hand now, if for compression, you have B is 0.5, 0, 0, 0.5. Determinant B is 0.5 times 0.5, that's 0.5 minus 0. So area becomes 1 over, becomes 1/4. Then, of course, there's a possibility of collapse too, where you have C is 1, 2, 2, 4. So, of course, this is not introducing any information at all. That's why the determinant is 0. So determinant of C is 1 times 4, 4, minus 2 times 2, 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So all points collapse onto a line, right? So, and see how that is, see that how that plays out. So imagine this now. Um, for this one now, area becomes 6 times larger. So a unit square becomes is transformed into a parallelogram of area 6, like 6 times larger. And then when you come here, you have a unit square here transformed into I mean made smaller, like reduced by 1/4. And then here all the points collapse onto a line. So it is flattened out like that because the determinant is equal to 0. Okay. And then, of course, we can have a unified interpretation to all of these things. So all geometric meanings come from one idea that a determinant measures how a matrix transforms space. So in general, the determinant of A is equal to the scaling times the orientation. Orientation is shown by the sign or whether positive or negative, while the scaling is about the value, whether it's greater than 0 or less than 0. And more precisely, we can say that the determinant of A is equal to plus or minus the volume scale, right? So we have a summary table here to bring the whole idea home that talking about area in 2D, we are talking about the area of a parallelogram, the area of a parallelogram, which is the determinant of A. Therefore, volume is three-dimensional, so we are talking about a parallel piped volume. That's the determinant of A. Then orientation, flip or not, the sign of determinant of A tells us. So negative flips it, not a positive keeps it the way it is. For scaling, you can either stretch or shrink. If the determinant of A is greater than 0, you stretch. If it's less than 0, you shrink, right? Then for collapse, now flattening, the determinant of A equals 0 means that all points, all lines collapse into one line and all that, right? So, and we have some key takeaways here. So the determinant measures area and volume scaling. The absolute value gives size change. The sign gives orientation. A zero determinant means collapse. Negative determinants represent reflections. And in short, determinant is equal to size change plus orientation information. So we have some practice problems as usual. So I think I can show them in twos. Okay, so solve each problem, show all steps where appropriate. So area into define the determinant, that's 2 times 4, 8 minus 3 times 1. So the determinant here is 5. So that's the determinant of. We find the area of the parallelogram formed by the columns of A. Of course, the area is simply that 5 we already got. So that'll be 5 square units. That's the area of the parallelogram. So here, compute the determinant. That's 5 times 3, 15, minus 2 times 1. So that'll be 15 plus 2, which is 17. So interpret, of course, that is the area of the parallelogram. That's 17 square units. So for 3 and 4 now, volume in 3D, find the determinant. Of course, you go ahead and find the determinant. So that and the determinant is automatically the volume of the parallel piped, right? Then orientation minus 2003. Complete the determinant. That's minus 6 simply. Does this transformation preserve or reverse orientation? Because it is negative, it reverses orientation. Then going to 5 and 6 for scaling factors, and find the determinant of V. 4 times 0.5 is 2. So find the area scaling factor. That's simply 2, right? So it doubles the area. Then for 0 determinant, now 1 times 6, 6, 6 minus 6, 0. Describe geometrically what this matrix does to the plane. It just disappears. Like there's a what's the word we used the other time? Like we have a collapse. Yeah, we have a collapse in that case. So for 7 and 8, combined transformation. So G is 0, 0. This find the determinant of G. That's 0 minus 1. That's 1. Describe the effect on the area. Of course, the area remains the same because the determinant is 1. Describe the effect on orientation. The orientation remains the same because the determinant is positive. Then volume and orientation. Find the volume scaling factor. So whatever you get here is the volume scaling factor. Then determine whether orientation is preserved. If it is negative, orientation remains. I mean, it's reversed. If it is positive, the orientation is preserved. Then for 9 and 10 now, unit square transformation. A matrix maps the unit square to a parallelogram of area 7 and reverses orientation. What can you say about the determinant? Of course, it simply means the determinant of the matrix is 7. Give one possible value of determinant of A. One possible value And it's the same. Yeah, it's just basically the same. Okay, yeah, what can you say about the determinant? Of course, the determinant is negative because it reverses orientation. Okay, give one possible value of determinant of it. That's -7, sure. It's a conceptual question here. Explain in your words why the absolute value of determinant of it represents area of volume. Of course, it's like transforming a unit area or unit volume the into a parallel into a parallelogram. If you are talking two-dimensional, into a parallelogram, right, of area equal to the absolute value of the determinant. And if it is three-dimensional, you're talking about the volume of the parallel pipe volume of the same of that determinant, absolute value of determinant. Why determinant of A equals 0 means a loss of dimension? Of course, that means that you know of course the lines of the matrix are linearly dependent. So one can represent a multiple of the other and all that. So you have loss of dimension. Some information are lost. So because some of the lines in the matrix are redundant, then why the sign of that A matters? The sign matters because either preserves or reverses orientation. So with this, we come to the end of this interesting video about geometric meaning of determinants. In the next video, we'll be talking about computing determinants. If you have subscribed already, I must thank you so much for that. If you have if you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can always get alerted each time a new video is released. Having done that, you can also become a member of the channel, and that gives you some special privileges. All right. Ultimately, don't forget to comment, like, and share so that more people can have access to the great content I have going on here. Till I come your way again, keep doing maths right. Bye.